How you doing? How you doing today?
Just good.
Yeah, just good? Well, come on in. What's new with you?
Do you notice that when I come in, you ask me questions that don't reflect the comments I've made to you for the past year? It's like you've ignored everything I've told you.
No, I haven't ignored it. I'm very, very well aware that.
So if I come in, I've been telling you someone's electrocuting my ears.
So you don't want me asking you how you're doing?
Well, wouldn't he?
I don't have to ask you how you're
I'm
doing.
just
anymore,
asking,
John.
like,
That's fine.
wouldn't you imagine he's not doing good?
I don't want to make an assumption. That's not how.
But that's not an assumption. I've told you
Sure.
I'm not doing okay.
And I see you once a month. So, circumstances can change. I don't want to make.
You think they just stopped electrocuting?
I'm not sure.
And I'm still wearing the earmuffs on my ears, so clearly somebody is still electrocuting my ears.
Okay, so if it makes you uncomfortable that I ask you that, I won't ask you that.
No, it makes me uncomfortable that you're not acknowledging, or you just completely forgot.
And I don't want to come off. I don't want you to have that impression because I don't forget. I'm not forgetting.
Okay, but I would never ask someone who told me they were being hurt at all in their lives a question like, "How are you doing today?" It's kind of patronizing. Well, not patronizing. It's like it's like a victim came up to you and told you they were victimized recently, and you just said, "Hey, how you doing?" And it hurt. That would hurt the victim's feelings.
Okay, so it sounds like that's not something you want me to ask you anymore. And that's fine.
Yeah, no.
It's okay. Yeah, I won't ask you that anymore.
Okay.
I do want to talk to you a little bit about the last office visit.
Okay.
And how we want to, going forward, how we want to address if you believe that I say something, or if I do or say something that you don't agree with, the process is that we talk about it first. Okay, we try to resolve that first, and then you proceed with the administrative process. My understanding is that you thought that I said something that I did not. Okay.
I have a video recording of you saying he's so.
He's so?
He's so.
No.
Yes, I do.
That's actually, and I watched it, and my supervisor watched it.
It doesn't matter. It's audible. It's clearly audible, and if you can even plug headphones in, put them in your ears, and you can clearly hear you say.
Is it possible that you didn't mishear me? Is that a possibility?
No, I don't make things up.
100% sure.
Absolutely positive.
That I said he's so.
And then I heard you say he's so lame, and the guy spoke so loud. I think he knew you were going to say that, or he just started talking. As you started speaking, and I can't hear the lame part, but you can hear he's so audibly on the recording.
I see. So you assumed I said lame. So you
No, I heard you say it. It didn't record.
I see. Yeah. So I watched the video. It looks like you cut out looks like you edited it.
No, I didn't. I didn't edit any portion of it. It's live stream. So if you upload images, every bit of the video doesn't get uploaded. So based on your internet power, or your phone's power, what you record is uploaded. But I have a cheap phone. this phone costs $70, but it still has internet capabilities.
Sure.
If you want like a really good internet quality live stream video, you have to buy one of those $400, $500 phones.
Yeah,
so don't accuse me of editing anything.
Okay.
I didn't edit.
It appeared because I watched the
Well, it's
clip.
live stream.
Okay, so hold on.
Okay.
So
you see what I'm talking about? I just told her the truth. Live stream videos don't always upload the way you want them to, and if it looks,
we're going to have a conversation, you and I, and instead of the streaming.
I'm not live streaming. I'm not live streaming.
Okay, but in terms of the narration, I have limited time. Okay. We got to keep our appointments.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Go for it.
So what I'm saying is that, if you can believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you that's not something that I said. I would never say that. I would never disrespect you like that. Okay. You don't have to believe me. Okay. I'm not putting you on the spot to believe me one way or the other, but I want you to know that if you think that I say or do something that offends you or that you take the wrong way, talk to me first. That's fine. And you can fill out a report form, that's fine. But
Yeah.
we ask clients to try to resolve it with the agent first, okay?
All right.
That said, my concern is that you had gone into the lobby. You didn't exit the lobby right away. You continued to record, and you willingly stayed in the lobby to continue recording this other client.
No, I went in the lobby to stop recording and then to put the scheduled appointment into my phone. Okay. As soon as I got to the corner, I was going to I've done this many times.
Sure.
I put the phone down. I stopped recording, I put the phone. Oh, you can't live stream and go into your calendar at the same time. So the appointment you gave me, the appointment slip you gave me was in my hand. So I had to go in the corner before I forgot. If I go in my car, I'll forget that I didn't write the appointment down. So I went to the corner. I was going to stop recording and put the appointment in my phone. Mm-hmm. I changed my mind and I turned around, and I decided to leave instead or go outside because I couldn't. If something happened in the lobby, I wouldn't be recording anymore. So the safest place to be would be in my car, and I just had to remember to make sure you put the phone down and put the appointment in your phone so you didn't forget.
That's fair.
Which is probably which happened anyways. I forgot anyways. I think I texted you and asked you. Maybe not. That's not true. But anyways, I went in the corner not to continue to record in the lobby, but to put the phone down and put the date in my phone because you can't use your camera and use the calendar at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and before I forgot, I knew while the appointment was in my mind because someone is using technology to make me forget long-term and short-term things. So if I walk out this door, they'll just start talking to me and then electrocute my memory. So all I remember are the words they're talking to me about. So the topic at hand and not the things prior. Okay. So while they were mentioning, put your appointment in your phone, I actually walked over into the corner to do that. And then I said, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to go outside and put the appointment in my phone. Mm-hmm. And so I turned around and there was a guy with elastic waistband around his waist and his butt crack hanging out. Mm-hmm. And I'm not stupid. I know gay men like to show their butt cracks in public. I know that. And I know if I turn around and the first thing I see is somebody's butt crack and it's a dude, it's not accidental.
Sure. Now, that I'm aware of. I know that about you. You've shared that with me before. What's not appropriate is recording that and then making comments about it to other clients in the lobby.
It's a public place.
Period. It doesn't matter. It's not appropriate. Okay? That is a non-negotiable. There's no wiggle room to discuss this.
Okay.
I understand it's a public place. That doesn't mean what you did, you have the right to do something like that.
I don't have a right to record what I see in public?
You don't have a right to ridicule somebody. Okay?
It's not ridicule. It's jesting.
You're not going to agree with me. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Okay? That is not acceptable.
All right.
Okay? I want to make sure that you have that on video because if this gets brought up again, there's going to be consequences.
What are the consequences? What will be the consequences?
Well, you might be meeting with my supervisor or your supervisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
About what?
About inappropriate comments and behavior like that. You can't do that, John.
All right.
Why are you? I understand that you do this to protect yourself and you want to get the messages out. I understand that.
You telling me it's illegal or it's wrong?
I'm not saying that it's illegal. I'm saying that it's inappropriate in our office, and you were told.
It's also inappropriate to show your buttocks in your office.
And what was it? What's a different way that you could handle this?
You could have told that guy, pull your pants up.
How do you know I didn't away from you? I don't have to do that in front of you.
You telling everybody else in public that I was wrong for recording this person. You could have tell him he's in it wrong in public for showing his butt crack in the lobby.
And that's something that I can have a conversation with him about in private.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not something that I have to do out in public in front of everybody. But I'm not talking about his behavior. I'm talking about your behavior. What I talk about with him
cool.
is truly none of your business, and vice versa. I don't talk to him about you, So it's about respect, and it's about boundaries, and it's just about being, respectful to each other.
I agree. Being respectful is important. And I also agree you can be disrespectful.
Yes.
before someone and wait. No, I believe being respectful is important, and I don't disagree with that. Honestly, I would have walked out that lobby and not noticed anything if the man's pants were pulled up.
I get it.
So when you do something that's embarrassing in public, people are going to laugh at you. That is a normal thing that happens. It doesn't matter.
But people normalize it. It doesn't make it okay if it's normalized. It doesn't make it okay.
No,
make
jesting is legal. I looked it up, the disorderly conduct laws, and it clearly says jesting is not a form of disorderly behavior.
I am not saying it's illegal. Okay, we have to be very clear. I'm not saying that it's illegal. I'm saying that it's inappropriate. Okay, that is what. But
it's a freedom.
Your freedoms are more restricted, again, when you're on supervision. Okay? It's considered, it doesn't have to be illegal to be considered disorderly, okay? You don't have to be charged or convicted or ticketed for a behavior that is considered inappropriate. You don't.
Yeah, but telling on someone is never inappropriate. Telling on somebody is not inappropriate, whether you do it in front of their face or whether you do it in private. Telling on someone is never inappropriate.
What's inappropriate is recording somebody's butt crack. That is
what's inappropriate is putting someone's butt crack in public.
But you're putting it in public by recording it and posting it. So that's a little hypocritical of you.
No,
it is.
I couldn't if it's not in. This is semantic. Well, this is circle logic. The idea is that you can't show your butt crack in public at all for a second, for half a second, for a millisecond, for any period of time. And if somebody sees it with their eyes or with the camera is their eyes. It's the same thing. There's no difference between a video camera and the person's eyes.
Post it, though. The difference is that you're revealing to more people. So if you have a problem with it for your eyes, but you think it's okay for others' eyes, that is hypocritical.
Yeah, but then somebody could lie and say his butt crack wasn't visible. So if I don't have evidence that his butt crack was visible,
you can't be doing it. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
All right, can you put that in writing?
Yeah, I can put it. Well, yeah. I mean,
I think that's
offender rules is that you can't have images of buttocks. So.
Yeah, and I shouldn't be able to see it either, right? So wouldn't that be the same? So some naked person like having sex with somebody, right, without permission, from your parole agent. Mm-hmm. The images is part of that idea, right?
Right.
You're not supposed to see things.
You're not supposed to. Yeah, but the issue is some stuff that you can't control what other people do. Right?
Exactly.
Right. So, but you can control.
So I have an image of someone's buttocks that I can't control.
I'm not talking to you about what you saw. I'm talking to you about what you said and recorded and then proceeded to publish. Okay.
Yes.
So your rule, which it's been 6 months. I have to review your rules with you again.
Yep.
But
no.
I can absolutely.
Do you see how badly that looks? Like somebody told that somebody's butt crack was visible, and it was purposeful. The man, I made a 180-degree turn,
right,
and the first thing I saw was a man's butt crack, and then the dude bent forward a little bit so his butt could rise out of his pants. Like girls know how to do that. They know if their butt crack's showing. If they lean forward, their butt will move out of their pants a little bit more. So as I was trying to pass this guy and go out the door, he leaned forward, and that raised his butt out of his pants a little bit more. So now this guy is showing as much of his butt as he possibly can to me. I'm the only person behind him, and he's well aware there's somebody behind him. And then. Yeah, so this is like sexual harassment.
And the issue, your one of your concerns is that you believe it was intentional and that you were targeted.
Okay.
Right? That's what you believe.
Absolutely, okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
I know. I don't believe it. I know it. Okay. So it's not a belief.
And you're entitled to your truth, John.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And then why did your supervisor lie and say I made a comment and then you rushed him through the door? That's not true. That's not how things happen.
Well, and again...
the comment came after he went through the metal detector.
No, she was talking about through the door to get into the offices. So what
I wasn't in the office when he came in.
I know. This is what happened, okay?
Yep.
This is what I recall happened.
Okay.
I came out to get my client.
Yes.
I saw that you were still out there.
Yes.
I saw you out of the court. I knew you were still in the lobby.
Yep.
I was focusing on my client. And then I'm walking him through the metal detector, and I noticed you were standing right by the front door, the exit door, facing us with your phone up saying ass crack or butt crack.
Nope. That's a lie. So I came out, I went to the corner to put my phone down. I decided against doing that. I turned around. The dude was still standing outside of the metal detector on our side, the door side.
Yes.
And then when you saw that I turned around, maybe, I don't know what you were doing, but I know I turned around and I saw some dude's butt crack. And then I tried to get my phone in the right angle because I had to double check that I was recording it. I think I picked the phone up to make sure that it was aimed at what the right spot, because sometimes I'm holding the camera, but it's not pointed at what I'm looking at. So I had to target this dude. And when that happened, while I was doing that, I don't know what you were doing, but I know he suddenly went through the metal detector. And after he went through the metal detector, I didn't know the camera recorded or not, because it's digital. It's all live stream. So sometimes it's blurry and nothing's visible. You can hardly see the videos afterwards. So I watched the dude walk through the door. And then as he went through the metal detector, after he went through the metal detectors, I said a little ass crack to the camera. And I walked out the door, not to the person. I didn't call him a name.
No, I know that you
And if he didn't know,
person.
if he didn't know his ass crack was showing, he wouldn't know I was talking to him. Okay. So nobody would be aware of what I said. Nobody would be aware of what I mentioned, unless it was relevant to them. So if you didn't know his ass crack was showing, you wouldn't know I was talking about him.
And your reasoning is a little flawed, John. But
okay,
we're
go for it.
We're going to move on from this conversation. I want to make sure that you're.
How did you guys know I was talking about him?
Because I saw his butt hanging out, and your phone was pointing right at him. It was pointing right at him.
So
you were facing us.
Did you see his butt hanging out before I saw it?
No.
Oh.
No, because he walked in front of me to go through the metal detector.
Oh, so and after I said it, you knew.
I glanced at you. I saw that you had your phone up, and I looked to see where you were looking. And I wouldn't say I rushed him, but I didn't want to engage. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to have any kind of engagement between you two. And I got him into the office. Okay.
All right.
That's what I recall.
Yep. Well, the video doesn't lie. The comment came after he went through the metal detector.
And that part none of that matters.
It does because she wrote that I made a comment and then you rushed your client through the metal detector.
No. She's here. I'm going to pull it up. What she
I posted on social media. I posted her letter, her comments on social media. That's exactly what she said. She said, I made a comment and then you rushed your client through the metal detector because you thought my comment would cause an altercation with him. But the man was already rushed through the metal detector because you said you saw me turn my camera towards his butt crack.
I did. It was.
So that was why.
As we're screening him, as he was coming up to get screened through the metal detector, I noticed you with your phone up.
Yep. Somebody was lying, and I don't have time to lie. I don't want to lie. I am trying to get people to stop bothering me.
I understand that,
and
but I have a hard time kind of understanding your reasoning with how recording people and kind of putting people on blast, if you will, is going to minimize conflicts and
telling the truth. Telling the truth is always conflicting to the bad person. Right, or whoever did something bad, right? It's going to cause. It ends up in the courtroom. It ends up in the public, wherever it ends up, is usually where the conflict is solved. The problem is solved, the conflict. But every time you tell, there will be a conflict. Even if you're lying or you're telling the truth, there's always going to be a conflict. Someone's going to figure out what happened. So in order to help that person figure out what happened, you provide them with evidence so that later on they can't say, well, that didn't happen. There was no butt crack. And then shown, visible. Mm-hmm. But instead, I actually have the visible evidence. And the guy's shirt was not too short.
I don't think no one's
It-
questioning whether his butt crack was showing. I think people
because
are
I have
questioning-
evidence of it now.
Well, no, I told you I saw it before you.
Oh.
I would have seen it before, anyway.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, John, we try to keep our office visits around 20 minutes long, right?
Okay.
That last visit we had was an hour long.
All of them been an hour.
I know, because we have some good, well, you have some good conversations. You tell me a lot of stuff that, again, if I didn't care, if I wasn't listening, if I wasn't paying attention, I'd be in and out. I'd say, okay, bye. You know,
all right,
let's just
we can do that.
So no, but what I'm saying is that the last one was an hour, and had we limited our office visit to about a half an hour, even that, he wouldn't have even been there when you left. So
I agree, but they've all been an hour prior. So I've had you for about more than 6 months, apparently.
Yeah.
So if they've all been an hour, point you just made.
I mean they've been longer than usual because you have a lot to say.
Yeah, is relevant because they've all been an hour, but it's okay. We can end these visits in 20 minutes and avoid meeting your next clients in the future. That's fine with me.
I've tried to. So this is what I try to do with you. I make sure that I don't have anyone scheduled right before you. Okay.
Yep.
To free up, because office visits run late. So I try to make it so that I'm not meeting with anyone in the block of time before you're scheduled to prevent that. And then I don't schedule anyone after. So I try to keep a block of time in case you do want to talk. I don't know if you have a lot of people to talk to in your life. I'm happy to listen.
Yeah. No, I don't. But that's okay. I make up for it. I post it publicly. I go public, so everybody is you're literally talking to as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. So you're talking to millions.
Well, you're talking at people. You're not really talking to people.
Well, no. I make statements. I open doors to conversations.
Well, you know what I mean, though. When I mean communicating and having a conversation, I mean conversations are usually two-sided. Oh. What you're doing is you're letting people know you're communicating to people. You're sharing information, but it's not. You have minimal feedback with what you say. Oh no, I do.
Every comment that people make on my posts, I respond. Mm-hmm. So they have the freedom to write mostly anything they want about what I post, and that's a conversation. So when they make their comments, if I have time. I always do. I always make time to respond because it's these people took time to say something. I take time to respond. So if you watch most of my videos, there are lots of comments. And some of them are really mean. Some of them are really disrespectful, threatening, and like really smart. Like a really, really smart person wrote some really, really mean things. And there's like psychological harassment. And I respond to all comments. So I do not believe I'm one-sided. I give everyone the opportunity to comment, make statements, and I respond to everything that people say, which makes it a conversation.
And I guess what my whole point from my comment is that's why I have, kind of allotted more time than usual with you, is to give you an opportunity to talk. Okay. And I just want to make sure that you understand that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and I stopped live streaming. Someone just told me to tell her you stop live streaming because the video quality was poor. And that's why instead of live streaming, I decided to record. It's not relevant. It wasn't relevant. Some retard just said that to me. But yeah, no, I understand that your time is valuable, and I never disrespect I appreciate people's time. So
yeah, for sure. I never thought that you were like taking it for granted or anything like that.
So no, I'm not here to, like I said, life is I'm telling as well as I can, and people have been lying. So in the past, people have been protecting the gay community by telling lies that what do you call it? That make whatever I claimed seem or absolutely go away, seem like it didn't happen, or absolutely go away. I don't know. It's like some really smart protective way, like a defense. Like every one of these individuals has the best defense attorney possible in a second. Like,
Yeah.
just showed up. The best defense attorney showed up. And it's like they're walking around with lawyers, right? Like they planned out what they were going to do. And they knew every single avenue that I could respond to their actions with the preparation, with preparation, like planned out. Like if he does this, we can say this, we can do this, we can do that. And I believe there's no interaction that isn't thought out beforehand.
Okay.
So like the guy's butt crack, I think if I did record it, somebody prepped or planned that if he records it or he says anything to you about pulling your pants up, tell him to mind his business. It's none of your concern. You don't have a right to tell someone else to pull their pants up. Don't interact with other people. Talk to your parole agent. Like these issues.
And that is not what I'm saying at all. That is not what I'm saying at all.
I'm just saying in the past, people have found ways to get out of any forms of harassment that I've heard about on the news, but it's really hard to put the words in. I can't think. Someone is stopping me from remembering and thinking about the words you need to use to describe what you're saying. And I can't remember how to describe what I just told you. So I'm struggling to tell you what I want to say or tell you what I believe. It's happening whenever I report that something bad happened and what happens afterwards. So the best thing I have is to prove. You need proof. Always you need proof of what you're saying in order to get someone to believe you. And now that I did, like the opposite of what should have happened is happening. Instead of being told, right, he was not supposed to do that. It's starting to look like there are people who are sexually harassing you, John. Every day you come in here, there's another incident where something that is sexual in nature is visible to you. And we have been saying it's not happening. We have told you that it was accidental, but these accidents keep happening. These coincidental things keep coincidentally happening to you. And it's starting to look unlikely. It's starting to look, it's adding up. And now if you look backwards, if we turn around and look backwards, it looks purposeful. And it's like someone's avoiding admitting that, and instead choosing to redirect redirect anything that happened that was bad back towards me. Finding like small details, not small details, nitpicking. Someone just said in my ear, use the word nitpicking. I don't believe that's the right word. But it's like I'm telling and someone is trying to get me in trouble for telling or trying to teach me that if you don't tell the exact right way, perfectly the right way, we will find holes in the process you use to tell to get you in trouble for telling. And I know that man did what he did purposefully because I see it too often. I go to work every day and there's some dude purposefully pointing his butt in my direction. And then he'll stick his tongue out. He'll look over his right shoulder and stick his tongue out, like flick it out of his mouth. And I believe that's gay community behavior. I believe that's what gay people in the gay community do to people. They flick their tongues out like they're an animal. And or someone just said they flick their tongues out. So that's happening in your lobby. That's happening while I'm walking down the street, while I'm driving down the road, while I'm at work. And there are individuals in our community who are gay, and they are trying to have sex with me in the ways that I just told you, or I've been telling all my parole agents. And I feel like there's like a brick wall that people put up whenever someone mentions a bad thing about the gay community.
So let me ask you a question. What is it you would like me to do? How can I help?
I don't know. I believed as it was the most responsible thing. I believe telling you the conditions of my probation or the community, the life I've been living while on probation was part of my responsibility. To tell you that I'm being harassed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's it. So
Okay.
I think after that, my job ends.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is no longer to change things or to encourage anyone else to change things. It's to tell.
Okay.
And that person's job, the person in power, is supposed to do whatever they have power to do. And if it's nothing, then it's nothing. But to ignore or deny or change what he said to a belief by just saying the word what you believe is not fair, is not what is logical, is not appropriate in my opinion. But I don't change things. I don't make decisions. So my job is to tell, and that's what I've been doing, telling. And that's where my job ends.
I was if we can just
Yep.
kind of sidetrack. What hold on one second. You texted me about UPS.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm caught up here. They were cool with your status.
Yes.
All of that.
Yes.
That's something I wanted to check in with you quick. I didn't know you. So you started with them.
Yes.
This week?
Last week.
Last week you did.
Yes.
Okay. Because I think I last talked to you on the 8th. I talked to you about this on the 8th.
Yes.
And then you started working there for a little bit?
Yes.
What happened?
Oh, no, I'm still working at UPS.
Oh.
I still work there. The employment at CS Logistics ended.
Gotcha.
And I wrote accident on there.
What happened?
So I drove to a location I've been to several times before.
Mm-hmm.
The house that is a house with lots of trees all the way down the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Drove there many times. As I approached the entrance this time, someone electrocuted my brain. The part where you space the vehicle out. Like I usually space the truck out everywhere I go, every turn I make. I put the truck in my head and the area around me outside in my head as well. So this person electrocuted my brain, and for a second, I didn't know where the truck was, and I didn't know where the trees were. And as I turned, I kept driving. So it's like someone's telling me to say, take a chance. You took a chance. But that's not what I did. I had no idea where the truck was or the trees were for like 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then when they stopped electrocuting my brain, I knew exactly where the truck was. And I looked to the right because I think memory comes back instantly. Mm-hmm. And I knew there was a tree over there. I didn't know if I touched the tree, but I did. And then I hit the tree. I rubbed up against the tree, but that's enough. It left bark on the side of the truck. Okay. So instead of washing the bark off, they decided to replace the entire side of the truck. But it wasn't necessary. There's great scratches, mm-hmm. but the other side of the truck had scratches too. Mm-hmm. All the trucks have scratches on them. I think it was an out. It was an out.
Wait,
somebody
they sent you to a house? You said it was a house. I thought you weren't delivering to houses.
It was the business is behind the house. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's like a huge warehouse behind the house. Well, not a huge one. It's a small one.
So you sideswiped a tree.
Yes.
While you were being electrocuted.
Yes, the part of your brain where you space things out. Yeah. A blackout. So basically, it was a 2-second blackout, but not really. You're only part of your brain blacked out. The part you use to drive blacked out. And the rest of your brain worked just fine. And then I drove, kept driving. Oh no, they chose to terminate me because it was $3,000 to get all the panels fixed. Mm-hmm. And I disagree. I think they knew I wasn't ever going to have sex with anybody I worked with. So,
I didn't know that your employment ended, so just make sure you let me know that. Like within a couple days. You just gotta report changes.
oh really?
Yeah.
Did I not tell you?
No, you you texted me. You just.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
You're right.
just just shoot me a text and just be like, hey, I'm not working here anymore, just so I know, because that was the last, and I wasn't sure if you actually got hired at UPS. I didn't get that confirmed by you, so just shoot me a text just for confirmation. Okay, just want to make sure I got my dates right. Let's do your rules. I know the last time it was just reviewed. We didn't have to have you sign them. You told me last time that you prefer to read them on your own.
Yeah.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah. Some of it.
Okay. So the 6 months ago when we reviewed your rules, I said, well, I want to do them with you so to make sure you understand. I think you have a pretty good idea what your rules are. Do you want me to review them with you, or do you want to just go over them on your own?
I'll sign them. Did you make any additions?
There's no additions, but I can add the rule that you cannot record, if that's going to help you. Cannot record images depicting intimate parts or private parts of individuals, including buttocks. I can put that. It's already in your rule. It's already in your rule. You can't have possession. This one right here. So if you feel like it's needed so that you remember, I'm more than happy to add it. I feel like it's a little redundant because it's already on here, but if it's going to help you, I can add it.
No. Hold on. So the rule is I can't have pornography in my possession, but you're also telling me the rule is I can't record somebody's butt.
Correct. It says it right here. You shall not possess nor view any materials that depicts any intimate parts of an adult, and it goes into detail about what intimate parts are. So that would fall under it. Okay. Buttocks right here.
So you're basically if somebody knows this, you're basically allowing them to show me things, and then if I don't have evidence that I saw that, hear me out.
Okay.
Wouldn't that make it difficult for me to? Wouldn't that make it very difficult for me to prove that someone showed me something or did something to me?
That's a bit of a stretch, John.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
It's a bit of a stretch.
How is it a stretch to?
So here
the behavior is easy to commit. Everybody around the nation, everyone across the country shows people their private parts, and people keep doing that. Okay. And the only way they get caught is by that somebody had evidence of what they saw.
So listen, in the meantime, while you're on supervision, you can't be collecting evidence like this. It's against your rules, okay? No one can keep...
So you're basically saying that someone could do something to me and I can't prove that they did it.
If somebody shows you any intimate parts of themselves or reveals it, you cannot record it. That would be considered possession. Then you would be in possession of that material.
Okay.
That's against the rules.
All right. So what if somebody did? What do I do to prove that they did what I said they did?
How would you prove that they did that intentionally to get you into trouble?
Okay. So if somebody hold on. Anytime you show a body part, whether you do it purposefully or not, towards any person in public, it is considered a crime. So I'm asking you again, how would I prove that somebody, whether they purposefully did it to me or not, showed me a personal body part that they weren't supposed to?
Well, you would have a couple different avenues. So if it was something that happened here or something that involved another client, then you would report it to us and then we would investigate. Okay?
But would you check the cameras out?
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. If it was an individual that we don't know is on supervision and you wanted to press charges, and again, this would be considered
if in society and somewhere down the road, I drive 2 blocks down the road and I see somebody's with some dude penis hanging out.
Right. That's a really great example. So if that happened, no, you cannot record it because you would get into trouble for having possession. Okay. Right?
So what do I do?
So then you can report it to the local law enforcement.
All right. They come out here and they ask, did anybody see it? Did anybody?
That's like 90% of crimes, John. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if there's cameras, hopefully there would be evidence or other witnesses.
Okay.
But the reality is that most crimes go unpunished, right?
All right. What if I'm in my car and I'm driving and my dash cam's recording and somebody is wearing underwear
We're talking about nudity, not just somebody in
yeah, no. Or somebody moons me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my dash cam recording.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me I probably can't have a dash cam because there's a chance I could come across that guy while driving.
That's a bit of a stretch. Now, if you that's a bit of a stretch. Okay, because it's not something that you're knowingly maintaining possession of. You can't control what happens, what comes right across to you, right? You have power to whip your phone out when it's happening and record it and share it. You have control over that. We're talking about your decisions, your discretion, what you have control over. We're not talking about your control over anybody else, right? You can't control what people are doing around you.
Okay, so if the camera is just recording and something happens, that's not
correct.
Purposeful enough.
But if you share that image with people, not law enforcement, I'm not taking that into consideration. But if you post an image of somebody, you're in your car and you have a dash cam and somebody moons you, and then you take that image and then you share it on YouTube, that would be a violation because you're knowingly you're not necessarily reporting it to law enforcement so this person can get.
I did. I guarantee you, I did.
No, I'm using a.
Oh, what if it becomes a court case? To go and then.
Well, here, if you were to report it, law enforcement would likely take that image. You would have no reason to continue holding that image.
Right. And then if it goes into a court case, for example, and they prosecute or they ask for evidence or they agree that this was a crime, would for example it becomes public knowledge, right? The incident becomes public.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, that would be public record. Yeah.
Right. So would that be fair?
If it doesn't involve a juvenile, then it would be.
So if I called the police and told them,
not necessarily,
and told them I saw someone's butt crack in a public place, and they considered it indecent exposure, would that become public knowledge?
What part of it?
All of it, any of the video that I gave to the law enforcement officers.
So are you talking about would the video become public knowledge?
Yes.
There would probably be a description, but the actual video would not be shared unless it was leaked somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, anybody who asked for the video of a criminal case would be given permission.
But there's exceptions to that. You can't just go and request crime scene photos and get crime scene. You know what I mean? There's censorship issues. So they're not just going to give. You know what? Does that make sense?
I got you.
Okay.
All right.
So
anytime someone exposes themselves to me, I cannot take a picture to prove that they did that for any purpose.
While you're on supervision, I think that's the safest plan. Yes, correct.
Wow. So that just makes me a walking victim. That makes me a victim or potential victim. It does, because gay dudes like to do things that harass other people.
We're talking about images of nudity. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about if someone's showing you.
I just saw a man's butt crack.
Right.
And that's nudity to a gay person.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to say, John, or how else I can reword it.
I don't think that's the intent of that. I think the intent of that is to have pornographic pictures that you
would still be in possession of these images. It is against your rules, okay?
Yeah,
it's against your rules.
I think that's a misinterpretation, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll follow your instructions, but I do believe you misinterpreted what you just said.
There's an element of protecting you here too, okay? And I want you to understand why. If for whatever reason, let's say, this is hypothetical, let's say law enforcement got a report that you were recording, and let's say that law enforcement finds out you're on the registry.
Yeah.
So if they feel they have enough evidence to search your phone for whatever reason, right?
Okay.
And they find these images, regardless of the context, regardless of what you're stating.
Yeah, if it's a penis in public, they would ask, who is this dude, and who is this penis that's in public?
You do not want to get caught with images of intimate parts on your phone, and considering your status. You don't.
I don't have any images of intimate parts of anybody's body on my phone.
Okay.
My point is, I think that rule was built to stop someone from having pornography in their phone. This is not pornography. Is pornography something you can buy. Pornography is something you have a photograph of that people pose for willing pictures.
Not necessarily. So here, this is a perfect
All right.
example. This is my guidance, and you can disagree with it.
Yep.
Okay, we've kind of.
I'll follow your rules. You don't have to explain any further. You said don't record anybody's body parts that they show you in public or under any circumstances. You can't record
while you're on supervision.
Nudity in public. And she's saying that while I'm on supervision, but
it's true, because that rule is not going to apply once you're off of supervision. After you're off of supervision, go nuts. John.
But for the next 2 years, I'm not going to go nuts. I'm going to remain the same. I'm going to keep telling. For the next 2 years,
I was just checking to see your discharge date too.
Somebody is going to be able to show me things, and I will never be able to prove that they did. And that can't be the considerations of the Department of Corrections. They would never allow somebody to be victimized and not be able to protect themselves.
And again, your course of action, if this happened here or with another client, you report it and you let us know so we can investigate. And if it happens in public, you report it to local law enforcement.
But they need evidence. Both of these places, you and the law enforcement, need evidence of a crime. Otherwise, they can't prosecute.
Right.
So you're basically telling me I can't provide the evidence necessary to get a prosecution.
That's not what I'm saying.
You just told me I couldn't record what I saw.
Right, because it's against your rules.
Right, and that would also mean I can't provide the evidence necessary to law enforcement to get a prosecution. And that can't be what the DOC feels. I think they don't want you to have porn.
Listen,
and
you can disagree, but this is...
But not evidence of a crime.
I understand what you're saying. It's case closed. I mean, this is the way it is. I can't give you permission to record intimate parts of people, regardless of your intention, or I can't do it.
This was happening. Okay.
I just printed the rules.
All right.
So let's go.
So you're again protecting the gay community. You realize how that seems?
You can again.
The only men in this country who show their buttocks in public are gay men. There's no guy who's going to wear an elastic waistband around his waist.
I understand your position, John.
That's not, but you're not listening.
I am. I have listened, and respectfully, I disagree. I don't have to agree with you.
No, I'm saying that I'm a grown man. I'm 32 years old, and there are lots of men just like me. And I guarantee you, 100% of their days, they will never show their buttocks in public. There's a group of men who don't mind other people seeing their buttocks. And they're usually gay men. So my point is, this dude was sexually harassing the people around him by showing his buttocks in public. That is how gay men like to, well, they don't call it sexual harassment. They just call it living. They call it their culture. But to others, we don't want to see that. And that is sexual harassment. That is, to us, it is sexual harassment. And to the law or to the company, it would be.
I understand. And without beating the subject to death, then there is the beautiful topic of intent, right? Because you would have to prove, telling you.
I don't agree. There's enough intentions.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Anytime you show your body parts in public, whether you intend to or not.
That does not mean it's sexual harassment.
It's an elastic waist. He had an elastic waistband around his waist with his pants lowered an inch enough to show his butt crack.
But that doesn't mean it's sexual harassment. You'd have to prove intent that that's sexual harassment.
Anytime someone, anytime someone purposefully pulls their pants down, that's intent. So if you purposefully pull your pants down enough for your butt to be seen, that's intent. And if there's an elastic waistband around your waist to keep your pants in place, that also proves intent. So that's intent to show people your butt.
I'm sorry, John. I just don't agree with you. Let's schedule a next appointment.
She thinks it was an accident. She thinks he accidentally had his pants below his waist enough for his air to pass across his butt
Would you
and not
like
notice
to
that.
stick with an 11 o'clock?
Uh,
Or do you have a preference of the time? Or
Actually, yeah, no. My work schedule is random, so
Okay.
it works fine. But my point is, so if my butt was in the air, if I felt my pants too low, I would pull them up immediately. So when I stood up from the seat I was in, I would pull my pants up. That's my belief.
All right, let's go. I need you to sign some rules.
All right.
That's just on another Tuesday. The printer is toward the back this way. Over here.
Crap.
You see where I'm pointing at?
Oh no, I was
This way.
watching that dude.
All the way to the back. There's a printer back here. Nope, back here.
All right. No, why don't you just lead and I follow?
No, but I have to walk behind you actually.
Why do you have to
It's
walk behind me?
It's a safety practice in our office.
Is
You
it
can
only
just stand over here. It's
only
fine.
for sex offenders or for who?
What's that? No, it's for everybody.
I saw you walk in front of the other guys.
No, we gotta go back. This printer's not working. Okay,
Okay.
let's go back to the office. Sorry. Sometimes this
It's
printer
harassment.
doesn't.
It's reminders
Here, we'll go
for
back.
you being
Back here.
okay. All right.
Just help
You know it'd
yourself
be
in, you're okay.
don't touch me. You know it'd
I'm
be a
not
lot
touching
easier.
you, I wouldn't
I didn't
touch
say
you.
that you. She went like this to guide me into the door, and it was.
Try this
But my
again.
point is, so like reminders that you're a sex offender. So like some people like to keep rape on someone's mind, and one way to do it is to treat them like they're dangerous, and the only conscious connection to danger that person could possibly think about is the closest thing. So how could I possibly be
Okay,
dangerous?
We'll try this again. I printed in the other print
Okay.
up front. So we'll take a left.
All right.
Sorry
So
about that happens a lot. And then
they wanted me to pretend like I was angry, and she took me to a secluded spot where I could
and then we'll take a right.
let
We're
out
just
some of
gonna
that
go-
anger. But I'm not angry. I'm telling.
There's the printer's right over here.
Okay. I heard you.
You can go in there, it's fine. I'm just going right to the printer here to grab your rules. Sometimes that back printer doesn't work. All right.
So secluded spots again. But I'm not interested. So yeah, there's psychology.
Oh, here we go.
I'm telling.
All right. Do you have any questions about any of the rules? So we have
No,
your standard 18, right?
You said no record. Wait, 18. Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
standard 18, and then
Yeah.
you got a couple of the special ones,
Yep.
and then you got the SOs.
Yeah, the special ones. One of those these people, Rebecca Brockman
Yeah.
and Todd Hole. These people are still talking to me at
Okay.
all times. And Todd Hole is making noises, like
Okay.
mouth noises and funny faces, flashing images of
Yeah.
himself, making like weird gay faces in my eyes. So
Okay.
you got that rule there, but they're not
Yeah.
obeying it. I think it's gaslighting.
Well, unless so that's for you not having contact with them. If they have contact with you, unless
Yeah,
they're on
just-
supervision.
If I say his name, he's gonna start talking to me.
What is today? Is it the 18th? 19th?
And in fact, he's
15,
watching
16,
right
17,
now.
18, 19. I know you've had these rules for a long time. Do you have any questions about any of them? About the relationship, just reporting everything? Do you
No,
have any questions about
no.
anything? Okay. All right, give me a signature and a date. And I'd like to give you a copy too, just so that you
Oh,
have
no
them
problem.
for your record. I'll have you sign. Okay, so I'll have you sign this copy too. This will be my copy.
Which one's your copy?
It doesn't either one.
I'll just take this one.
I just have to have a signed copy.
All right, you can have that one. I'll keep
Okay.
this one.
All right.
I won't sign
Give
it
that to
unless
you.
I have to. I'll keep
Yeah,
it.
not necessarily. Do you want me to staple it for you?
No, I'm okay.
All right. All right. Well, I will see you next month.
Yep.
All right. See ya.
Yep. So, like I was saying, so when crap, real quick, when so seclusion. When you crap, I gotta go. Never mind, no seclusion. Someone just told me in my ears you have to go to work by 12:30. My point was seclusion. Seclusion. So the woman thought I'd be mad. Like, so somebody, psychologist who builds rapists, whose job is to create a rapist, just told who spends all day thinking of ways to create a rapist, just thought that I was so angry because I was telling on gay people that I must be a rapist. And not like I am a rapist, but if I tell on gay people, the only people who would be a rapist, right? And that's his psychology. So he thought that I would walk outside her office to a secluded area and commit a crime because I was so angry because I was telling on gay people. You see? So somebody thinks they're smart, but they're stupid because all a person has to do is report what you did. And that's it. That is it. That's all you have to do is tell. This is stupid. This is a waste of my life. And that's what they don't care. That's why they don't care. In the end of all of this, everything that happened to me will be never solved or solved when someone else chooses to. But in the end, but reality is years have passed. Years of this person's life has passed before anybody has done anything to stop what happened to them from happening. So it's like when you get arrested for a crime you didn't commit, and they take your lifetime to learn you didn't commit it. Now, I'm not having sex with gay people. And then they pour sex on you, right? So when you don't want to have sex, somebody is trying to have sex with you, right? They try to, I don't know. What do you call it? What do you call that? When somebody, tries to, they're stopping me from talking right now. But when somebody tries to have sex with you when you don't want to, they just told me that makes them a rapist. But these people aren't. It's not the same. It's like you did something to make sure they didn't want to have sex with you, and then you tried to have sex with them. So this is a little different. Normal rapist is someone who tries to have sex with somebody, and then they tell him no, and then he chooses to rape that person. But these people have done things that you don't like, and then they tried to have sex with you. That's worse, right? Yeah, that's worse. That's that's like they just told me it's doubling something. I forgot what he just said, but it's worse. So I'm gonna keep telling and see what happens. Now they're telling me to don't stop recording, turn the camera on yourself so you have a screenshot. But that's okay. I'm gonna keep telling.